In a previous video from Inventor, I used the Export 3D tool to export this model so that we could then view it in the 3D environment. Here we are in Sovelia, and we can see the assembly that we published. And now when we have server version 22.0 or higher, on the bar along the top we see the 3D icon appear. That means that this assembly or part has been exported or published to the server. And if I click on that now, it will now show me a view of the model that was exported. I can now use my mouse. So if I use my left button, it will rotate the model around. If I use the center button, I've got either a center button and I can move the mouse in and out, or in this case I've got a scroll wheel. I'm scrolling in and out, and if I use the right button, that'll pan it around. So we can then have a look at the model. We get some tools here on the right hand side. So if I was to move the model away and I press the home button at the top, it'll reorientate the model back to the view that it was published at. We then got an icon of an eye. Within that, now we can see things like the top view, the left view, the right view, the back, all associated to where the model was published from previously. If I just go back to the home view again, you'll see that there is a shadow underneath the model. And within here, then we have this option to hide the shadow or show the shadow. There's also an option to say rotate it by the X. In this case, it will flip the model onto its side so that we can then view it from the X position. So that's the buttons for now. At the moment, the model is showing the property card on the left hand side for the assembly, and it's also got the model here. You can use the next button down to go to a full screen view. So I can show the whole model in a full screen view, and we can just toggle between a full screen view or the one where it shows the property card. Even if I've got this view here where we've got the property card and we've got the 3D view, you can still manipulate here and move the browser and move the property card and make it go bigger and smaller to get the exact orientation that you wanted for the model. We can also show the grid information and the 3D view at the same time, and we can expand it and collapse it here on the right hand side. This grid view becomes especially useful if you want to highlight something. So here, for instance, I could select the ring, and in the window now it's highlighting the ring for me. You can also do that from here. So if I highlight the ring inside the window now, it will show me down here in the bottom right hand corner the item, providing it's been itemized into Sovelia. And I can now see the property card for that. The property card will appear, and we can also then just go and have a look at the 3D view for that one particular piece. If we have multiple of the same parts within the window, and let's take a look here. If I was to select, for instance, this piece here now, there are 3 versions of this in the window, and we can see that the 3 appear here, saying that there's 3 different instances of the same model. If I now use the I button, and I should be able to, if I select that now, I should be able to cycle through the 3 different options, and it's showing me or highlighting the position of those 3 models within inside the window. Really handy feature. Okay, so there we go. There is the main features and functions. A little bonus tip for you here is that if you were to select a particular part or item in the window, you can use your right mouse click now, and you can open the property card. You can pivot and make that the pivot point for your rotation. You can also isolate the part and it makes everything grayed out so you can just see that particular part. Once it's been isolated, you've got the option to right click and then show all again. If I just select it again, right click, you can of course hide that view, showing everything else, for instance. Again, you've got to right click and show all. Select it again with the left mouse button, right click. You can unselect it from here. So lots of extra bonus things you can do with the right mouse button. This might be quite a nice one. Let's select this. Let's use that as the pivot point now. So now when we rotate, the whole model is rotated around that point. Okay, so there are the features for the 3D viewer inside the HTML viewer of Sovelia PLM version 22.